But the reason I came to the Crypt is I've had a long-running battle with drugs, addiction and stuff like that, mainly heroin. I was in my own flat, but I was smoking quite a lot of weed while on my methadone, and I got quite paranoid. And because of that, I had to lose my flat and come here and get a bit of support. Initially, I was trying to get off the methadone, but I was going to go to Rehab Teen Challenge, and it's just got dragged on, and now it's not happening. So I'm going to start again. I'd already reduced down to 35mm from 80, so that's a bit of a blow. But if it hadn't been for the Crypt, I'd have been on the street yesterday in a bigger mess than normal, you know. So I mean, for that reason, the Crypt needs to be here, doesn't it? So, well, the Crypt, in my opinion, would be different because the staff, when you come in the door, you're not treated as a drug addict, an alcoholic, or an ex-criminal, any of that. You're just who you are. You're a name, you're a person, human being. And a lot of the other agencies don't see that. To them, you're just a number that gets funding at the end of the year, or maybe doesn't get funding at the end of the year. And in a lot of the places, people that have been cured are not worth any money, so they try and keep you prolonged in that state of sickness and depression and depravity, whatever else, and pull it out. And it all comes down to money. But the Crypt it's better because of the staff. There's not an us and them divide. I don't see in the Crypt. You know, it's the staff are here. A lot of the staff have been where I am now, and they've progressed, and a lot of them are working here and living quite a decent, happy life because of what the Crypt's done. You know, and to get that anywhere else is nigh on impossible. You know, it's like the chiropody carry on we had last week. You know, I got my feet fixed. I had dodgy feet for years, but now they're not dodgy, and I can dance again. But all I need now is my teeth fixed, so I'll be happy. But, yeah.
What brought me to the Crypt is I come up to Leeds a couple of years ago, and I started working up here. Unfortunately, I lost my job, and I didn't have any options to turn to. I spent 3 weeks on the streets before someone suggested I should go down to Leeds City Council and see if they can help me. Went down to Leeds City Council and they suggested a Crypt. At first I thought it was a nightclub, to be actually honest with you. I think someone had suggested me to go to this nightclub, and I turned around to the person behind the counter and said that it's no time for partying, I should really get somewhere for me sorted. And she sent me down here. And from there on, it's just, I had absolutely everything, from a really nice flat in Leeds to money that I couldn't dream of having ever, to it all going in the space of a week. It all just disappeared. So that's what brought me to the Crypt originally. So I lost absolutely everything and I had nothing to fight on for. Where I first started off when I became homeless was this place called Prostitute Alley. It was in the middle of Holbeck, it's behind the paper mills. My first week there, I managed to still have my mobile phone and it was working by the end of it. By the end of that week, 2 lads on a drunken night out decided they wanted to jump all over me. So when my friend came over and helped me, his name's Richard, and he's the one that suggested for me to go to housing. He's the one that said that you need to get off your streets and you haven't messed up any of your chances yet, so you need to keep going. So he took me down to housing, and unfortunately he doesn't speak much English, so he's not able to speak properly enough for him to get somewhere, but he suggested for me to go down. So I went down there and they suggested me here, and now Richard comes here every day, and I'm trying to persuade him to keep putting his name down to get a bed here because he helped me so much. I'm trying to help him back now. But what I don't think people realise is that there's 2 types of community in the world now, which is you got the homeless community where everyone looks out for each other and it's more of a family than people with money, because that person sitting on the street corner was me at one point and everyone just ignored me. And I didn't exist. I was the city's problem and not to be bothered with. But now I walk down the street with my head held high, and I'll have my mate Richard next to me, and okay, he may look scruffy and all that, but it doesn't actually bother me in any way. You know, because he did more for me than anyone with money has ever done. You know, okay, it's one materialistic object, you're not going to take it with you when you go, so you might as well make as many friends as possible, right? I had a job interview the other day while I'm still here at Crypt, which made it quite interesting because I wasn't sure what I could do, but unfortunately I didn't get the job because I wasn't qualified to a certain extent. But no, every member of staff that knew about it wished me good luck, give me some support, and that one of them come down with me, made sure I got to the right place, made sure everything's sorted, and everyone's just helped me as much as possible. And it's just a shame I can't give any more back than what I'm already giving. It's not dark and horrible in any sense. It's actually a really light, friendly place. I had to nag a few of the staff to get me in the kitchen for a couple of days, but you know, that's about it really. Yeah, that was entertaining. But it's at the moment it's one of the best places that I've been to ever. It's managed to bring me, make me humble, if that makes any sense, because I see all these people that have been living on the streets for years, and I was only there 3 weeks, and I've been given an opportunity to get myself off of the streets and to find a new life for myself and to learn new skills while I'm here and earn new friendships, make as much friends as possible, meet as many staff as possible, help out as much as possible. It's actually given me some motivation to keep on going, rather than to just, you know, sit back and do nothing. Unfortunately, you know, there's not much to do at this point in time because there's that many volunteers, but yeah, I'm going to get myself there. I'll get myself going.
About 6 weeks ago, nowhere to live, been on the streets for 6 months solid, but up until my partner got jailed, I was fine. Got a chest infection, had to come indoors, so I came to the Crypt, which has been my base on and off for 15 years. Well, I had to go for a compassionate bed a couple of nights. And from there I got a permanent bed. Now since I've been on a permanent bed I'm more settled, I'm more quiet, I'm more calm in my ways. And so yeah, that's why I'm here, get myself on my feet and I'm looking at jail next week, but whether I do or not is another matter. But hopefully with a report from here saying I've kept me down, which I have done, and my probation and other things, maybe I won't be looking at as much time. I wasn't going to jail. My plan for me would be to get a place for me and my partner who's in jail at the moment, get our own base once again of our own and start from fresh, and this time it is all or nothing with him. So we'll take it from there and see what happens, but that's what I want. If it's either with him or without him, I want a quiet life now. I'm 50 and it's like time to stop playing silly baggers and get something done. So yeah, that's my plan for the future.
I came to Crypt initially because I kept on falling out with my girlfriend and family all the time. Well, give me a bed, found me somewhere to live, and now helped me get volunteering in kitchen. And from there moved on to going to McDonald's for a work trial. People that come in and the people that work here, because most other places you go in and they turn your nose up at you, and most of the staff have actually been through it and know what it's about, or know people that have been through the same situations and been in the same thing and had to use a service like this or similar in the past. It's a lot more up at St Michael's. You didn't have no privacy, there were always somebody there, or it wasn't really somewhere that you could leave your stuff and actually trust anybody to be there, whereas now, where you've got your own little room, although some people say it reminds them of jail with the size of them, it's a lot better, a lot safer, a lot more secure, because your own fobs do your own room.
What's special about the Crypt? Everything. Because the support, the staff, the care, the love, it's a family. It's the only homeless shelter in Leeds. You get to know clients. You build a friendly relationship with your clients. The question is, what way do you start describing the Crypt? So I've got kitchen experience in the past. Used to work in kitchens for a living. Lost all my passion. We went into the gardening team, with nurture part of the Crypt. And then one week, I wanted to come down to the kitchen and do a week's work. And just in that week, I got my passion back. And it's like, yeah, I'm definitely won't be working in kitchens. So when Chris came off for his holiday, who runs a gardening, I had to tell him leaving his team and becoming part of the team down here. And since then, it's been working in the kitchen, loved every day of it. And went on holiday for first time in 6 years. But the first time I'd ever been out abroad up to France a couple of weeks ago. All thanks to Kim, which really enjoyed. Planning another holiday next year to Greece, and then next week I start at prep. So going into paid work, so just my life's just constantly moving forward at the minute to what it used to be when I first became a client.
What brought me here in the first place was I was on the street and he got me off the street, really, somewhere to live, and then since after that it were food and meeting new people. That's what brought me in. I've got a lot of friends here now because of meeting them, really. And, other than that, I mean, I was here before it got done up like it is now, in a mattress in the corner. I mean, they've got me off the street, they got me in all the hostel straight after here, and now I've got my flat where I've been there 5 years now. And it happened 5 years ago, the Crypt got me off the street. I feel like I'm an actor because of the drama. You know, I told them after that theatre thing on that night, I says, thank you for getting me into drama, for letting me come here. And it's opened my life a lot more, you know, new people and new faces, and the best thing about drama is I started it and I finished it, and that's the first thing I've ever started and finished.
I was homeless for about 25 years, off and on, living on the streets in various locations, mainly London, for about 15 years. My life had just basically gone to pieces, and I was sort of living hand to mouth for quite a long time. I had gambling issues as well, which needed funding. I'd fallen out with my family, I'd fallen out with myself, big time. And I was sort of on a self-destruct mission, which I got deeper and deeper into, and I found it really difficult to get out of. In fact, I didn't really know how to get out of it. And I was given a lifeline, actually in a courtroom in London. I was expecting to go out of prison because I'd been before for several different things, all relating to my gambling. And I was given a chance to come back to Leeds, or to this area, by the judge in the court, really. He said, you know, this is last chance saloon, you're a 50-year-old guy, you've got a daughter that you need to find, you've got your family that you need to find, and they're going to be your support. If that doesn't happen, you're going to be in trouble, but I'm going to give you the chance to do it. So I was given a travel warrant from London to Leeds. I ended up in Leeds train station on a Friday night a week before Christmas with £1.20 in my pocket. Didn't even know this place existed. And literally I was just walking around the station trying to work out a solution as to what I could do, and I didn't want to go back to the life that I'd just come from, because I'd made my decision on the train from London to Leeds that was it. Whatever happened, that was it. I was, you know, quite prepared that night to just sleep anywhere, as long as I didn't go back to the life that I'd just come from. So I asked a police officer in the station what I should do, basically. And she took me into the office in the police station, rang this place to ask whether there were any beds. And you know, things just happened for a reason that day. I think it was like, you know, it was just meant to happen in a way. I'm not a religious person, but I think things do happen for a reason, and that definitely is how I felt about it that day. So I ended up in here, and I actually ended up getting a bed that someone was promised but that they didn't turn up for. So then that was the only bed that was left that night. I mean, imagine a Friday night in the middle of winter in Leeds. It was snowing and raining and everything. So I came here, got to reception, got my bed, stayed here for 4 weeks as a client in the room, and I was put on sort of like the re-housing programme, and got a flat which I'm still living in now. And it was just, you know, I think if that happened that night, I'd have probably gone back to where I came from, because it would have just been too big a challenge for me. But this place has literally saved my life, because I'm now back in touch with my family, I'm back in touch with people that I never expected to be able to find and get in touch with again. And they've all been really supportive. As have the people in here, I just can't praise them enough, just unbelievable. And I've made friends here that I'll have for the rest of my life, do you know what I mean? And I've associated with people that, if I'm honest, I probably wouldn't have associated with in other circumstances, but because everybody's in the same boat, it's just like one big community. And it's a positive feeling to come here every day, volunteer, hear other people's stories. And that's really all it's about.